Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of What Doin'. As Deb and I are closing in on 6 months as full-time travelers, we thought it would be a good time to show you some of our favorite Harvest Host spots so far. Now, we normally stay in campgrounds, but occasionally find that a stopover between two places is needed. Whether it's a brewery, a popcorn farm, an old Shaker village, or an alpaca farm, they've all been great experiences with some really great people. Come on along and take a look at where we've been, and at the end, I'll give you a few tips on finding the perfect Harvest Host. Welcome to What Doin'. We're Deb and Aaron, two retirees originally from Washington State who love to travel the country, make new friends, have new adventures, scuba dive, hike, cook, and just about anything outdoors. For the ride. You never know what kind of crazy adventures we're going to get mixed up in. And you never know what doing. Our first stop is Gruner Brothers Brewing in Casper, Wyoming. We met up with Ben and Darren, the Gruner Brothers. As in many Wyoming ranches, rusty old treasures tell stories of past generations, and the Gruners have been in Wyoming for generations. The picture hanging in the lobby is a 1927 Chevy used on the ranch. The dog on top is Spark, who's featured on every label, and the truck has been beautifully restored and is downstairs, still used today for parades and promotions. We get to take a tour and learn some of the history and the process of making great Wyoming beers.
That's where you get that lovely aroma and the lovely, you get the aroma, the bitterness, that really nice stuff like in a hazy IPA or
of the hop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it as it goes through the process, it starts to degrade, so the hops get less and less and less. So that's why you dry hop.
Okay.
They have a full line of beers from lights to pilsners, IPAs, Belgian ales, and stouts. So if you need a stop in Casper, check out Gruner Brothers. The parking is level, the views are spectacular, and the food and drink is just plain great. Our second stop is at the Crazy Y Farm in Gothenburg, Nebraska. Doug and Teresa farm 800 acres that has been in the same family for over 140 years. They grow popcorn for ConAgra. You'd recognize them as Orville Redenbacher, Jiffy Pop, and Fiddle Faddle. Doug met us as we arrived and led us to our parking spot. Of course, we made friends with all the barn cats and farm animals, and even though Teresa had just had shoulder surgery a week before, she still gave us a great tour with history of the farm.
Charles Fremont, he homesteaded, he came to Nebraska from Wisconsin in the 1870s. Then the family got their Nebraska Farm Family Award in 1978 for 100 years of one family continuously farming the same ground.
Wow.
So this guy's dad, his name was Joshua, and he and his wife built this house in the 1870s. It's 2.5 miles up the road. It's still up there full of family stuff.
Oh no, really? Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that.
The product comes in the head and goes through several different kinds of rollers and sieves and cleaners and things. So the clean grain comes up into the top. Here's a picture of it up here into the top. And then all of the trash, the stalks, the stubble, and all that all comes out the back and goes through a chopper and gets all chopped up.
Deb found this little guy and wanted to take him home with us. Kolohe did not approve. It was cool to learn about some of the machinery and how it all worked. Since the harvest was just getting underway, Doug took us on a tour of the farm from the field to the silo and explained how the entire operation went together.
What? That's huge, like a pumpkin. That rivals. That's a Don Ginter sized tomato.
It is. It's amazing to me to be able to learn about new things and see firsthand how the world works around us. We've been lucky enough to find some pretty interesting places doing really cool things by amazing people. And what a beautiful place. Okay, it's on to our next stop, but we had a decision to make. Yep, we came to the fork in the road. Stop number 3 finds us at the South Union Shaker Village between Auburn and Bowling Green, Kentucky. This Shaker colony was organized in 1807 as the Gasper Society of United Believers in Christ's Second Appearing. They were carpenters, and they started a trade established in the textiles, seeds, mill products, and purebred cattle over the 6,000 acres. Their most prosperous period was between 1840 and 1860, with peak membership here at 350 people. At one time, there were over 200 buildings in the village. The craftsmanship and beauty of the work is still evident as you tour the dwelling house. The way of life was communal living. The women occupied the west side of the house, the men were on the east. The house showcases the dining rooms with large kitchen and bake room. The upper floors were used for sleeping in a dormitory-style setup for nearly 100 people in this building. The Shakers were renowned for furniture making and woodworking and loved vibrant colors. The ministry shop was built in 1846, and the interior colors are beautiful. The Shakers were known for what was called the Shaker Union broom. They innovated a method to flatten broom corn bristles, making a significantly better broom than the traditional round brooms. Their brooms were widely sold, contributing to the adoption of the flat broom design found in American households today. The grain barn was built in 1975 and is the only surviving barn of about a dozen that were built on the property. The built-in scale in the floor was used to measure how much grain was brought in, and then there was a pulley system to hoist grain to the upper floors for storage. So this is the Shaker Cemetery. In 1922, when it was shut down and sold, the guy that bought the property, there's over 500 Shakers that are buried here. But he took all of the headstones, ground them up, and used the limestone to treat the field out here. So of the 500, you don't know where they're buried or who is buried where. I don't know what the guy was thinking, but that's kind of a tragedy. Our stay at the South Union Shaker Village was an amazing time. We actually ended up spending a second night because it was just too much to see and learn. Spend some time in the administration building and watch the video history, and then explore this amazing site. I may have saved the best for last. The Alive and Fuzzy Alpaca Farm in Bowling Green, Kentucky was totally amazing. These award-winning alpacas were just too much fun. These animals are very social, and you can tell they love their life. You'll never meet a more special person than Elaine. She manages the 20-acre farm and is still a practicing veterinarian.
What are you doing, honey?
Washing a tractor.
Washing a tractor?
Washing it.
You're washing it? Make sure it's getting all...
Gotta clean it up before you put it away in the barn. Deb loved photographing the English Sebastopol geese and the rest of the farm.
Now you're getting us all
I can
there.
be a little hard to get along with sometimes.
You can? No. I can't even imagine that.
Every woman can.
Oh. I hope.
Yes, and every man can too.
No. Not once you learn how we tick and what we need.
Well,
Then we're just easy.
We realized that you know, there was an old thing about 4 or 5 years ago, women are from Venus, men are from Mars.
Yep.
Right, and once you understand that concept, you can do all right.
All they need is food.
Huh?
All they need is food.
No, they need other things.
He smiles. You missed the spot, love.
Well, I found a wonderful one. And I had him for about 6 years. And then in October of 21, he got called up yonder.
I'm so sorry. Oh.
The only thing is, as I watch people suffer, you know,
Yeah.
terminal cancer, I'm glad he went kaboom.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, I wish he'd have given me a little bit of warning.
Right. You okay there, honey?
Yep.
Hello. Oh.
And just in case you missed that,
Hello. Oh. Hello. Oh.
we thoroughly enjoyed our time at Alive and Fuzzy, and Elaine was an amazing host. Okay, so here's a few tips for you. It doesn't matter which harvest host you stay at anywhere in the country, here's a few things to remember. Support the business by making a purchase or a little donation. Read reviews to know exactly what you're getting into. Look at Google Earth to make sure that your rig will fit. And no matter where you go, just get out there, travel safely, and explore our incredible world. Check out whatdoin.net for Deb's blog on this and more.